What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Buford Zone podcast. It's your boy Vaughn. Today I'm here with a very special guest, friend of mine, homeboy. We done modeling together, went to high school together. You know what I'm saying? Darius Brockington, man. How you doing?
What's going on, man? I'm blessed, man. Blessed out here working, man. What's going on with you, man?
Not much, man. Cooling, cooling. So you got some things on your mind. You told me you wanted to come through and talk. You know what I'm saying? Your boys just won a tournament. What was you coaching again? Basketball?
Well, right now I'm coaching the Buford Hurricanes. It's an AAU basketball tournament, basically. Kids from around the community, Buford specifically. We got ages from 11 to 14, and then we got ages 15 to 16. We got two different teams, and our middle schoolers just won the AAU middle school tournament in Augusta, South Carolina. That was a real big tournament for them, undefeated. Just great players, man, all across the board.
Well, what was the energy like with that? What was the attitude? Because I like when people see undefeated, people just think about, you know what I'm saying, the talent level, like, oh, you know what I'm saying, the boys is good.
Right.
But what about, like, I know y'all went to some things. It wasn't easy. Maybe it might have been some injuries that happened or
Right.
anything. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of work that goes into being undefeated, man.
Right. I mean, it's just like you said. It's a lot of hard work. It takes discipline. It takes being humble. It take a lot of the normal things that it would take to succeed. Like especially with dealing with a lot of younger kids, man. A lot of them are cocky nowadays.
Right.
They watch 2K and they play 2K and they watch this person and that person. They idolize them. And as a coach, you got to know how to humble them and not kill their dreams or bring them back down to earth. You know what I mean? Because everybody got to start from somewhere. So the energy basically was like just we went in there, with our minds set and focused. It was like no plan right now. When you step on that court, you have no friends until after we get off the court. 40 minutes is, you got two halves basically. So it's just like we went in there. They had no business. Every now and then, they get sidetracked because they're kids.
Right.
But at the end of the day, man, they went in there. They handled business. It wasn't easy, and hard work paid off, man. We came back with the trophy.
That's what's up. Was there like a maybe like you know what I'm saying like a scouting report before maybe a team that you thought maybe might have gave y'all some trouble? Like I said, y'all undefeated, so y'all pretty
Right.
confident going in, but you still got to put the work in. Was there a team that probably made you think or gave y'all some troubles while y'all was there?
To be honest, bro, not really. The crazy thing about that was with us being a first year team and just being new, we go to every tournament with a chip on our shoulder. We knew nobody knows about us.
Right.
Nobody know when you hear the Hurricane, it's like who? Because when you think about AAU and Buford, it's like you think about the hustle, or you think about I think it's the Hilton Head Hornets, like places like teams that's already been established.
Mm-hmm.
But when you hear us, it's like, oh man, like they probably just start and they don't really know much about this. So when we got there, it was just like like how you said, I'm trying to scout and I'm watching games before we play because usually in tournaments you see who you're going to play before you play them or whatever. And so I'm in there trying to study and trying to see who's got who. And before I knew it, I got coaches coming up to me, asking for my contact and asking me about certain players. And I'm just like, wow, how do you know about this player and that player? And they're just like, well, AAU coaches talk. And to be honest with you, it was like every team we played was more worried about us than we were about them. Like I literally could sit and coach my boys, and other players would know more about my players than I knew about their players.
They're trying to recruit your boys off your team.
Man, you know how that go, bro. Oh my God, it was.
It's grimy like that in AAU.
It's grimy. They're literally when you walk to the bathroom as a coach, you literally have to take your players with you because if you don't, you'll come back and your player got a card in their hand, or your player like, oh, that coach right there, just talking to me and telling me what I can do and that he liked me. And it's just like, nah, don't talk to nobody. If I'm not around, don't talk. Y'all stay together. And the crazy thing about it, man, it was a coach from Buford that actually tried to take one of my players. And it was funny because, the thing that we need to work more on here in Buford is working together. Instead of pulling each other down, you got to keep each other up.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of my players was just like, coach, from another team, he asked about me and told me he wanted to talk to me. And, me and that coach had a conversation and, every week, of course with me, I'm all about respect. Right. So I spoke to him and I let him know, like, man, we could work together and do some things, but Buford ain't going to get ahead like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Me stealing from you, you stealing from me. At the end of the day, it's about these kids. If we can get these kids in colleges, or to be honest with you, get them on a bigger platform. If I get an AAU team that's doing much better, that can get my kid more exposure,
right,
I'll send them there. I would recommend them there. I would highly send my kids there with no problem and sleep well, as long as I know my kids, chasing their dream.
Speaking of, do you you feel like a lot of coaches in the Beaufort area are more focused on getting the kids to the next level, or more focused on keeping their record good so that way they keep their job?
You know me, man. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm gonna let you know straight up how I
That's why you
feel.
here. That's how I want it, man. Keep it 100, bro.
Well, with me, honestly, man, it's different. Back in the day when you had Coach Draft and Coach Beasley, and you had legendary coaches like that,
Yeah.
those coaches were, they knew the game. They were about helping the school as well as the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times with that, it was like, when you being coached under that type of leadership, it's like, whoa, like this is the good.
Right.
But now that I'm older and it's Coach Draft has retired and I think Coach Beasley is retired. I'm not sure. I haven't spoken to him in a while.
I'm not a basketball guy, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's time. But it's like the coaches it's not the same. It's not really about these kids anymore, man. It's strictly, honestly, it's about getting the schools more money and like you said, building a resume of the coach.
Right.
I haven't gonna lie, man. Since I've been coaching, man, honestly, it's going on 3 years. Like now that I'm the head coach at Bridges, the head varsity basketball coach, you see different things, and it's a whole different level than coaching county.
Right.
Because it's like now you're in different meetings and not to get too in depth, but you see the true colors of the coaches and different people and the students and around.
Right.
And like with me, and shout out to Coach Charles Brown, who's the new head coach at Battery Creek. It's just amazing to see what he's done already with the program. It's like you can tell, you can recognize real.
Right.
And I just get that energy. It's like he want to help those kids, and he wants to. It's not about his title. It's like
Charles CJ's different, man.
Right.
He's different.
Exactly. It's not about that. With me becoming the head coach for Bridges, I didn't need a picture. I didn't need to shout it on Facebook. I didn't need all of that. But it's because at the end of the day, it's about these kids. The same kids that I got on Bridges and on my AAU team, I had these little boys since they was like 7. And they've moved up. You got Talon, you got Matthew, you got Lorenzo, you got Trey, you got DeAndre, you got Javari, you got TJ. All these little boys that I've had these boys since they were little boys. So it's like amazing to see them at the level that they're at, and the respect that they give me is crazy, because it's like, listen, I dig into them because they know at the end of the day, I've been in your shoes. I've been raised, with a single mother. I've been raised in the hood. I moved to Beaufort. I had to leave the environment I was in. So all I want to do before I do move and I start my next journey, because like I tell you, I want to get back into modeling and stuff.
Right.
My job, as well as I know, I'm not going to speak for Coach Charles Brown, but it's about these kids, man. And that's why the only coaches that I really communicate with is like, Charles Brown and other coaches that came before me, because I feel that genuineness. Like I know for a fact, if I give my boys, to Coach CJ, if he did, decide to do AAU, or if I, I help him, I know for a fact my boy's in good standing. He gonna do whatever he can to get them to where they need to be. He's not gonna sell them a dream. Like it's so many kids now, not to overtalk the question, but it's so many kids now, Jay, that are sold a dream. With this AAU basketball stuff, it's easy to get a kid on your team to say, oh yeah, you're gonna go to college, you're gonna play against LeBron James' son, or CP3's son, or Zion, you're gonna do all of that. But when you get to these tournaments and it's no scouts there, there's no recruiters there, it's like, where is this story that you gave these kids? You need to show these kids the same facts that you saw when you were getting them on your team. Now
got them playing out here with no film whatsoever,
no cameras, no
you
nothing.
Ain't helping them.
You go into these little rinky-dink AAU tournaments. The tournament, you can tell if you get to a tournament and the tournament is more about raising money for a team, then it ain't about the kids. It's about money.
Yeah.
You get to, you get to AAU program, you see scouts in the corner, or you check the reviews, and it's about the kids. Then okay, I'm doing what I told these kids I was going to do. No kid, it's no reason why not one of your kids shouldn't have any type of looks or anything by the end of the summer. If at the end of the summer, if your program hasn't helped any kid in any type of way, all your team, honestly, to keep it 100 with you, all your team and all your program is about money in the program.
Right. It's not about the kids. And my thing is, how do you feel? And here's my thing. I feel as a person who's not a basketball player. Obviously, you see me play basketball. It's horrible. But as a person who doesn't play basketball, and I'm not super into, outside of maybe like LeBron James, the Warriors, you know what I'm saying, the Jordan Brown argument.
Right.
I'm outside of that's it. You know what I'm saying, for me. So But the problem I see and that I hate in basketball from just my little bit of experience is the kid who's 6'3", but at the same time, he's the tallest person on the team.
Right.
And do you feel like it's an issue that that kid's 6'3", and because he's the tallest one on the team, because it's high school, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
or it's mid school, a lot of times you don't get that height. He's 6'3", but they put him in the hole. They make him play the 5.
Right.
When in reality, let's say he's 6'3" now,
Right.
but he never grows again.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You got him playing the 5, but technically he should have been training to play point guard, because if he has any chance to go pro, he should be a point guard because he's 6'3".
Exactly, and that's the mindset. That's the it's crazy you say that, man, because like we talk a lot about that, and it's like we got to get these schools, especially here in the Low Country, we got to get them out the mindset of, like you said, if you over 6 foot, or if you're the tallest person on the team, then you're automatically the big man, or they call it the 5.
Right.
That ain't the case. Basketball is a whole different sport now. It's guys that are 6'7", 6'9", 6'7" foot that's starting at the 1. They don't even really belong. Yeah, they don't belong down there in the whole, eating and feeding the elephants. That's not where they belong. And a lot of times it handicaps the kids. Like, you got a lot of kids now that have a lot of potential and they're tall, but if you give them the ball, they're trying to back you down at the top of the 3-point line. It's like, oh no, nobody. Yeah. We need to work on those handles. We got to work on those dribbling, creating for yourself. Right. Cutting down, setting picks, not just getting, backing down. And you feel like, oh, I'm tall. All I got to do is jump and get the ball. And then when you get, in region play or the playoffs, and you got a kid that, that's 6'6", and he take you outside of the 3-point line and he work you one-on-one, then you looking like, coach, I don't know what to do. And it's like, you're like, nah, like, you know what I mean? Now you're handicapped. And to catch up on that, one thing that I don't like, Jay, is the way the county pals kind of handicaps these kids.
Right. And
that's what was one of the reasons why I stopped coaching county. Like, when I don't like to say quit, when I left that over there,
right.
You know what I mean? It was just so bad. It was like you couldn't press break. Once you got a certain amount of points, you couldn't pick up full court.
Right.
You couldn't play defense. Like you couldn't try to block. Like, they would call a foul before you block because we don't want them to get hurt.
Right.
You couldn't have court trap. It's a lot of things in county.
So you can't really learn the game.
You can't, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And people, and I feel like with that, you know what I'm saying, since we're on that subject, I feel like, and I actually went to a game because my cousin's kid, she plays basketball, county basketball, and I saw a lot of those rules.
Okay.
And I thought it was just like a youth, like a real youth thing, because she's young, she's under 10.
Right.
And so I thought it was like a youth thing. It wasn't like an older thing. But I think what that does is, because people hate to see their kids lose, right. But I feel like there's a strength in losing. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's true.
If you learn how to play from behind, because a lot of people, and that's a lot of things with constantly winning teams,
right.
Is that when they finally play a team and they're behind, they don't know what to do. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because they always play ahead.
There you go.
And then when you get teams that, you know what I'm saying, are a little bit more aggressive, or teams that are a little bit smarter, they don't know what to do. And so in a situation like you said, you can't trap, you can't full court press. So at the youth level, this is where you're supposed to be learning the game. And if you have a good coach that's teaching you these things, right. Now I can't teach you these things because of the rules. So now you don't get to learn them until you get to middle school, high school, and you're just now learning these things. When if you're good enough, they want you. Exactly.
Right, man, Jay, it's crazy with you not even being a ball player, basketball. I know you did great things with football, but for you to know that with basketball, it just shows right there. It's like, by the time you're even in elementary school, you go to Columbia, man, you go to Florence, you go to Charlotte, you go to even Augusta, you go to Charleston. These little boys are 7, 5, 6 years old, pressing, full court press, dribbling, trap. Their IQs are on a major level. Right. They get there, and they and when it's time to go with the county, they get a group of the best players in county, and they go and play Charleston, and then every time Buford goes, we lose by like 30, 40. Right. And those boys, they get there and it's like, coach, what is this? And it's like they're doing a press on you, but I can't teach you to press because in county they don't allow us to press after a certain amount of points, and they're just like, well, coach, what do we do? I'm like, play through it, just play your game. And it's like, it's easier said than done. I can tell them play their games all day, but it's like, coach, I hear you, but I need a press break, and it's like I don't have time to teach you press break in the middle of a game,
right?
Because this is things that you should have learned.
We should have been practicing.
County doesn't allow us to show you that, and it handicaps you, and that's why when a lot of these kids from county try out for these middle school teams when the season starts, they get cut because it's like it's not the kids' fault. It's like at the end of the day, they came from county, man. And I talk to a lot of these middle school coaches, and they're just like, man, what's going on? I'm like, man, a lot of these kids play county. And with that being said, a lot of stuff that they would learn, like if they were just playing like boys and girls club, like how we grew up on, they would know the stuff. They don't know it.
Right.
And so now what you got to do is, as a coach, you got to go all the way back. You got to revert back to level A,
right,
and teach them stuff that they should have. Exactly, because tryouts is not where you teach a kid how to play. Right. Tryouts is you bring to the table what you have, and I see if I can work with it, and I can help you master that craft. It's not for me to teach you in tryouts. Now, if you make the team, cool. But tryouts, you showing me what you can do to help me make you better and make the team better.
Why is it that you feel like they did that though?
Honestly, to just expound on that, I think a lot of times, man, people don't believe in these kids here in Buford. Yeah. They don't. Back in the day, you already know how it was. Back in the day, you had Buford High doing big things with football. You had like Justin Parker going to Clemson. You had Jimmy Legree. You had you had a lot of good. Even Creek, you had a lot of fast players. So it was like the parents back then really believed in there. Like our parents, back in the day, they believed. Our parents was there. Like they were at practices. They were even involved when it came to the concession stands.
Right.
The parents would be there selling stuff because their kids was playing. Even if their kids weren't the main players, they were still there for support.
Right.
But it's like nowadays, it's like they don't feel the county. They don't feel the support from the parents. Right. So they feel like if you don't support your own kid, then we should.
But you know what though? Even in the same aspect, in the same breath though, I feel like it's not also like the parents' fault. It's the schools and the organization's fault. Right. Because in the situation I seen, I know a parent who their kids have already graduated. You know what I'm saying? So, but they still want to be involved with the school. They're still that super fan for the school.
That's big, yeah.
And they want to help volunteer and do certain things. And one of the problems was the concession stand wasn't making the sales that they wanted it to make.
Right.
And so they were like, hey, y'all not doing that. Y'all selling basic stuff. Here's an idea, this, that, and the third. Let us do it. And so they did it, and the revenue increased, but they wouldn't let them continue to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Which is crazy.
So I feel like, I don't know. They tried to make all these rules and regulations for them and how they should sell stuff and do all this. When in reality, if you just let them come in there and do what I'm saying, not necessarily what they want to do, but do what's in the best interest and increase your sales, it'll be good. But they don't. But they try to find different ways to not say stop you from getting involved, but once something comes out, now they gotta legislate it,
right?
Instead of just letting it be what it is. You know what I'm saying?
They want to be over it, and they want to they want to put the stamp on it. And I agree, man. It's just crazy that it's like that, man. Because it takes away from the camaraderie of the game and of the sport. Because it's like back in the day, the games was packed.
Right.
People would be standing on the floor, like how the alumni game was, like a couple months ago. That's how a regular basketball game was. Right. So it was because of things like how you said, like the concession stands.
That game was packed.
It was packed. Yeah, it was crazy.
That game was packed.
It was hot. It was hot in there. So, but it's like stuff like that, man. Like if you can get the city, I'm not gonna say city, the town back to how it was back then, when everybody supported these kids and believed in these kids and pushed these kids. I'm telling you, man, these kids will really do stuff that people that I graduated with did. Like when we graduated, we wanted to go to college and play ball. We were ready for the next step. But these kids now they don't have that push. They don't have that support. Right. Like they're so much different, man. Like they want to quit so quick. It's so easy for these kids to just say, "Oh, I quit."
How do you feel about the I guess the parents that have the kids with the talent,
right?
But they don't do nothing but send them to practice and then that's it.
Man, that's a whole nother. That's like a pet peeve of mine, man. I understand. Like I said, me growing up in a single mother, home or whatever, and my mom having more than one kid. Of course, I know it's times where parents just not going to be able to be at every game.
Right. Well, of course. Like I said, I'm in the same situation.
Right. Yeah. So we get that.
Right.
But then again, is different because back then there wasn't as much social media. You know what I mean? We had MySpace and Facebook was just starting to tweak when we
Right.
when we were graduating. So it's just like now it's like with so much social media, honestly, and I'm gonna say what I gotta say.
Right.
I know this tape, but I
You good? You
at
good,
the end
bro?
of the day, I feel like a lot of parents, especially on my social media, I see a lot of these parents that I'm coaching their kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I pick up some of the kids. I drop some of the kids off. I don't mind it. But I see some of these parents, they drop the kids off, then they leave. And, it's like, oh, I got to go handle some business. That's fine. I don't need you to be at the practice because sometimes, parents can be a distraction.
Right.
But at these games and stuff, we need you there. I don't need you to be at home on Facebook or out to eat on Facebook. You live right now, but your kid looking in the stands and you're not there. That'll make a kid want to quit fast because it's like, who am I playing for? Yeah, coach, I'm playing for the team, but I want to play for my mom. I want my mom to see. I want my dad to see. My grandma to see me. I want them to see that I'm good at something. That I can do other things besides get on their nerves.
It's different from and with us both being athletes, we both know that it's a different feeling from playing your sport and achieving in your sport and coming home and telling your family about it than you achieving those accolades and playing that sport with them in the stands.
Exactly.
It's a whole different feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and so my mom, I used to tell my mom all the time, like, oh, no, it's okay, because we didn't have a car.
Right.
So, but she found out my mom would walk to some games. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
And, so I would tell her to stay home. You know what I'm saying? No, it's cool. I understand, da-da-da. But in reality, it made a whole bunch of difference when I could look back and I see her there, or I know she's coming.
Exactly.
So I'd be on the sideline. Coaches hate when you looking in the crowd.
Right.
But I'm looking for my mom. I'm like, where's she at? Where's she at? And then once she's there, I'm playing a whole different type of way because I know she's watching me. You know what I'm saying?
I can relate, bro.
It's a whole different feel.
It is.
So how do you feel about the future of South Carolina basketball right now? Because we're doing good right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have 4 players in the draft. Good.
Oh, yeah.
2 of the top 5, Ja and Zion.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So how do you feel like this will help us and help South Carolina basketball? Do you think this will help with the recruiting and more looks?
Right.
Do you think they should take the players in South Carolina should take basketball more seriously now that they know that, hey, it's a good chance that we can make it now, or what's up?
I mean, to be honest with you, this is big. Like, this is huge for South Carolina, man. This is big, man. You got top 2, 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina, not even from far, like, they're not even from far places. It's like you got Zion from the upstate, and Florence, because, we grew up in the same hood or whatever you want to call it, neighborhood or whatever. Then you got Jao, who was in Sumter. It's like, those are places that you don't see too many big names come, especially out of Sumter. You got Ray Allen, who claims he's from Philly, but when you check the books, he went to school in Sumter. He actually played with Giles' father in Sumter. So it's like with that, when you of course you got players that that are down here that don't claim it.
Right.
And of course with Ray Allen not claiming it until Giles, got his break. Now all of a sudden Ray Allen, you want to coach, and you want to lead, and you want to mentor him because y'all from the same area. No, bro, you were just saying you from Philly.
Right.
Like last year, Ray Allen, you from Philly. You ain't say something.
Yeah,
now you want to ride the
Philly.
wave.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, man, I feel like this is big. Like this right here, Ja wasn't recruited out of high school. He had no high looks. Like nobody was looking for Ja Morant. Yeah. This man I went to Benedict in Columbia, so this man used to literally walk in the gym as a young boy, because I'm like 7, 8 years older than Ja.
Right.
This man would literally walk in the gym, and it would be college kids like that was at Benedict with me that wouldn't want to play. He's like, bro, if I'm not on the team, I'm not playing. And this was a young boy.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, who is this? And by the time him and Seventh Woods get off the floor, I'm like, yo, I can see what I'll play, but bro, you doing too much. Like, as a look, you gotta stop doing this. But
doing dirty.
Yeah, it's like, but the thing about it, I ain't gonna lie to you, it's big for South Carolina. But the thing is, bro, South Carolina's we've always had monsters. You had Jermaine O'Neal out of Columbia. You had Kevin Garnett out of South Carolina. You had, like I said, Ray Allen. He went to Sumter, but you got Raymond Felton from there. You got a lot of legendary players that are still in the league that actually play. You got Carlos Powell. You got Seventh Woods. You got Jalik Felton. We got a lot of heavy hitters already, especially in Columbia area.
Right.
We got a Darius Thorne with PJ Dozier. South Carolina always had heavy hitters. It's just the thing that I feel like, in my opinion, that we got to work more on is these little counties like Beaufort, Charleston, like. You got to get these kids out there, and that's what I want to do. Like I said, my main goal, honestly, as not even a coach, but as a person, as a a leader. I like to call myself. I'm not gonna say a mentor. I say a leader. Is to get these kids to the next level, not even just on an athletic level, but college, military,
Right.
being entrepreneurs, showing them how to invest, showing them how to take their family out of a situation, how to take care of their mom. You don't have to be rich to take care of your mom.
Right.
I ain't rich at all, but I make sure that my mom, she don't have to want for much.
Right.
Because we don't live above our means, and a lot of times with the social media, a lot of these kids get mixed up in the hype. And remember how we were talking earlier about people like to
Fancy
shut
designer
people
brand,
right?
yeah.
They want to shut people's dreams. And I hate when the crab effect, when you got people trying to put a time on your success, like telling
Right.
you, oh, you too old for this. Oh, you just got to be real, and you got to look at the statistics. Statistics about what?
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
It's
Like,
your talent, man. You gotta work on it. If your
right.
talent is good enough, and I feel like what people don't realize is that in this generation with social media is that you can be anything you want it to be. Because
there you
back in the day is one thing, but in this generation in 2019, there are people who have careers for things through social media that probably wouldn't have been a career before social media existed.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? There's some people who get, like, for example, the craziest thing. The black lady who eats seafood on
I
camera.
was just watching her yesterday.
She's getting paid
She looks
crazy
scary.
amount of money, and she ain't doing nothing but eating seafood with fancy nails on.
Yeah, oh my God.
That's all she's doing. She's getting paid. And so when you think about people who are actually trying to do things, that are trying to, play sports, trying to coach, trying to be a rapper, trying to be, an artist, or trying to be a comedian, or trying to, and a lot of people who are comedians get their start from social media nowadays, because once they get a following,
Exactly.
now they start picking up. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with rapping. Now you can have, nationally, an artist might be trash. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But with social media, he or she can at least get that small following enough to make a career out of it.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who are successful in making money off their career before they get that big deal.
Yeah.
Before they get that national
Like
recognition.
Cardi.
Yeah.
Right.
So you get your following, and even you got comedians who are doing, they're small comedians, but they're making enough to do it full time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Oh yeah, definitely.
So, I never really understood people who try to knock an individual success, because I'm all for promoting. You know what I'm saying? And when people talk to me and they ask about certain things, I say, hey, you know what I think you got to do? You got to do this.
Right.
You got to do this. I would rather you tell me what you don't like about my music, or what you don't like about my talent, whatever it is that I'm doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Tell me what it is you don't like about it. You know what I'm saying? Then you just, oh, y'all trash, I need to give up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What's the issue? Why y'all can't just give somebody constructive criticism that's trying to do something? You know what I'm saying? But then if they make it, or they figure it out on their own,
Now you know them.
now you know them, or you riding the wave, or he from here from such and such. So
Right.
I don't know, man. People, like you said, that crab in the bucket mentality is real horrible, and I think it's really big in Beaufort, South Carolina, man. And that's why I'm doing it, because I feel like people get set in their ways. People always want to, shout the, especially from our perspective, support black business. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it's only good for a small amount of time. You know what I'm saying? They say it, they might share it, but when it comes time to actually do it,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, they don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I find that to be an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not support them all the time? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
They, or they'll support them, or they'll talk trash, but you gotta understand, they have to start somewhere.
You got to.
You know what I'm saying? Your customer service ain't gonna be 100 because you're not $1 million company.
There
You know
you
what I'm
go.
saying? Everybody calling your cell phone to try to hit you up on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's not like the $1 million company you can call a 1-800 number.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Self-made,
So,
man.
it is what it is.
And
Though.
you right, man. 'Cause the thing is that it bothers me a lot, man. That's why I kind of backed up from Facebook and all that stuff. Like, I used to post and I used to just be a social media guy, and sometimes when you see the negativity with certain people, and it makes you sick to your stomach, because it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's social media, and you can't take it personal, but at the end of the day, it's like, wow, like, why are we so negative? For a community that's this small and should be this tight, especially with a lot of stuff that's going on in the world with segregation and racism and all the killings and stuff. It's so negative. Like stuff like this. Like you got a whole podcast right now. Like the only podcast here. Period. It's not really many people in Beaufort, if any, besides you that's got a podcast that you built from the ground up with your own money.
Right.
And you would think that us as a people, as a group, not even about color, but just you call it Beaufortonians, I guess what they call it now. It's like you would want to support and push, and it's like we said earlier, bro. People will like your stuff, but they won't share it. It's like I want you to see that I liked it.
Right.
I like what you're doing.
Right.
But I don't want you to get on that wave because it might be this one share that I give that might get you to that next level, and I ain't at that level, so why I'm gonna put you at that level?
And I feel like that's a whole different level of love right there, because there is a difference from reacting, commenting, and sharing. It's so much thing, because you know yourself when you scroll and you be like, oh yeah, I like that. Right. I like that. I like the nah, I ain't gonna share that. I'm gonna say that. Oh yeah, I gotta share that. I gotta let my feed see that. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You know it yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna I do it. You know what I'm saying? Right. But when it comes to the people in the area, you know what I'm saying? You always have to share. If you see anybody doing anything, even if, in my opinion, even if I don't like what they're doing, but it's like, you know what? They doing something. You know what I'm saying? They trying to do something. So whether it's the same people starting doing eyebrows in the back of their house. You know what I'm saying? Right. Whether it's eyebrows, whether it's a clothing line, whether it's trying to do music, whether it's, you know what I'm saying, trying to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Their own business. I always share it. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta show love.
You gotta share it so that way you can show love and give them their opportunity. Maybe somebody else will check them out, even if you're not feeling what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? At least somebody else will check them out. But I don't understand why people don't have that same mindset to just support people. You know what I'm saying?
Crab in a bucket, man. Nobody want to see the next person get to that next level, man. My grandma always told me something, and the thing about it, I kind of live by this. Right. It took me a while to learn it, because you already know, with us growing up in the hood or whatever, if we don't like a person, we don't do business with that. But that's what you're kind of taught in the hood, like loyalty, I guess. If I don't like you, but you got something that I could use to help myself, I'm still not gonna do business with you, because you know what? You fake. You ain't loyal. This and that. But my grandma always told me, she was like, Darius, listen to me. She said the one person that is going to have what you need to get to that next level, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the person that you least like. And when she first said, I'm like, Grandma, if I don't like you, I don't talk to you, I don't speak to you, I don't kick it with you. When I see it, ain't a
I don't
speak.
skate with you, nothing.
Ain't nothing. Yeah. Ain't none of that going down like that. And she was just like, but why? She was like, so you mean to tell me right now, Darius, if I got $1 million in my hand, and you need 100,000 of that to get the way you need to be, to get you to possibly get your $1 million, you ain't gonna come and break bread with me. That my grandma from the hood, so she gonna give me that slang. She'll give it to me real. And she was just like, you mean to tell me you ain't gonna come and politic with me, or break bread with me, or converse with me and network to get over that hump? So now instead of it being 1 millionaire, it's 2 in the room. She's like, you out of your mind. She said, and I failed as a parent, I failed as a grandparent, I felt as a person, I felt as a role model in your life. How can you call me a role model as your grandmother Darius if I'm leading you with that type of mindset? She was like, I wish you would come in the house and tell me you sat in the room for the millionaires, and because you ain't like them, you ain't say nothing to them. Or you turn your head, or you was on your phone the whole time on social media scrolling. She said, don't walk in my house. And since that day, bro, that followed me from college, sports, that followed me now with working where I'm working at now, even with me getting my doctorate, and even with the modeling thing. It's a lot of times, man, where it's people that I don't care for. Like how you said with sharing. Like I'm on Facebook, and there's a lot of people that I'm not gonna say I don't care for, because I don't think I have problems with people. Like I pretty much love everybody. I try to, at least. And there's a lot of stuff where you see, how can I say, stuff that you don't support. It's like certain stuff, all the negativity and the cursing too much, and like just the negative energy. You're just like, man, I don't like you as a person. But that's you can't how can I say, you can't judge them because of who they are, because that, they might be blind, they might not have the teaching or the leadership ability that you have. But whatever they're doing, you know what I mean, just share it. Give them that push. That push might be the thing that they need to show them, like, listen, maybe I need to not be so negative, or maybe I may need to stop being so disrespectful or so so angry on here. Right. Somebody actually supports me. Oh my God, look, Darius, he just shared that. So obviously somebody likes it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And with that, man, I just wish Buford, man. Like I said, with me, I'm not even from here. I'm from Florence, South Carolina, born and raised. Yeah. And with me, man, like I could easily go back to Florence and say, you know what, man, I give up here, man. I've been to all these county meetings, and I'm the only black person there, and I'm the only person that care about these kids.
You know what? Speak on that. You know what I'm saying? Those county meetings are important, and the reason why I feel that way is because not only have, like you said it, and I felt like I've seen some people say that, right. But there's and I can't think of it off my top of my head, but you've seen it in certain movies,
right?
You know what I'm saying, where they want to get something done, and it's like there's only one black person in the movie. Or you've seen it in viral videos where there's only one black congressman or congresswoman in the room that's speaking up for us. You know what I'm saying? And why is it that you feel? Why is it not you? Why is it that we don't feel the need to take place in these meetings, especially in this? I feel like, and do you think it's from back in the day? Everybody still feel like nothing can get done? Or what is it? Because nowadays we can attend these meetings, especially at least the town ones. Maybe not everybody can't be, a congressman or congresswoman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at least these county meetings where it's for the citizens to come out to. You know what I'm saying? Why do you feel like we're not there? And this is me too, because I'm not there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm honestly, man. It's a lot of things that play in when it comes to that question. It could be fear. A lot of people still stuck in that same mindset where they feel like they don't have a voice. Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to listen. Some of them just don't care. Some of them say they don't have the time. A lot of times, man, when I go in these meetings, like with the Burtonwell situation where, they started charging the kids $2 a day or $10 a month. And I felt some type of way about it because I was like, when I moved here, to get away from the environment that I was in, and my mom, was blessed enough with my Aunt Renee. She was working for Burtonwell's, and she pulled some strings. My mom became, an employee there, so I was going to the gym for free. And a lot of people I met there, a lot of my friends I met there, a lot of, I met a lot of brothers, a lot of sisters, a lot of love. I met a lot of great people at that gym. It was free. That was a place where it kept people off the streets. It kept people from robbing, killing. You relieve your anger on the court. Even if you weren't the best basketball player, you still were there because it was just the place to be. Even when girls would come in there and sit on the sideline and just, everybody knew, your parents knew if you were at the gym, you were safe. Right. At the end of the day, your mom can pull up to the gym because she knew her son was there. But, now that, we're older and these kids coming after us, you go and you try to go to the gym and it's like $2. And I'm like, for the, the average kid, a day, $2 is a lot a day.
Right.
To be honest with you, $10 a month to a gym that has always been free for our generation, it's too much. We pay taxes and all this stuff out of our paychecks, and you got the nerve to charge our kids to come to a gym that's been free to their older brothers and their older siblings. And I went to the meeting, and like I said, when I went in there, I put it on Facebook, social media, like how we just said, you put it on social media, you hope to get get people behind you and stuff like that. I'm not trying to be Martin Luther King, but these your kids, you know what I mean? My daughter doesn't live here in Buford. My daughter lives in Columbia. But it's about, I still care about everybody's kids. So it's like, I posted and I'm like, I hope everybody come and help. I get in there and it's like, 30 open seats. And then you got people on the wall here and there, and then you got the panel right there. And it's just like, I sit down and it's just like, of course I'm like one of the only black, I think it was me and like one other black person, and he was like on the panel. So it was like, he, you know what I mean? It's like he already had his mind made up, like, no, they already said it, $2. It was like, nah, I don't care nothing about that. So, they already got that look on their face. So it's like, I'm looking around like, okay, I'm a little early. Maybe some of these parents gonna show up that had these same complaints and stuff. And, you looking at your watch and your phones, and you just like, okay, they gonna show up. We going, you know what I mean? We gonna protest. And nobody, you're the only one that giving all these different, ultimatums and these different, opinions, and then they're looking at you like, one lady told me, she was like, what's your name, son? I'm like, I'm Darius Brockington. Where are you from? I was like, I'm from Florence, South Carolina. And she was just like, oh, okay, so you're not even from here. I'm like, no, but it's my second home. I feel like Buford was a place that saved my life in certain ways. You know what I mean? From the life I was living before I came here. And she's like, okay, that's great. She was like, let me ask you a question. And you know, when she said, I'm like, oh man, she about to ask if I'm a race, or she think I'm one of these thugs out here, not knowing I got 2 degrees and I didn't graduate top of my class. Like all this in my head, because I'm like, you know what? As soon as she comes sideways, I got my resume. I had it with me. You know what I mean? Not to be cocky, but sometimes you have to show people like I'm not as ignorant as you may think. You know what I mean? Because I don't have to wear a suit all the time to hold a intelligent conversation with you. That's not me. That's not me. I'm not gonna wear that. So at the end of the day, you know, she was just like, you're here and I hear everything you're saying, Darius, and well, Mr. Brockton or whatever. And although we commend you for coming, she was like, where's everybody else? And when she said it, she got me because I wasn't ready for that question. I thought she was going to come with a question that was directed at me.
Directed at you.
And when she asked it, it was just like, I'm looking at my phone like, well, I got people. And she was just like, that doesn't mean anything, sir. You're coming here to tell us to stop charging for kids to come when their own parents don't care, Darius. Their own aunts and uncles, the same people that come and they complain and they curse us out because we're charging their kids and this and that. They're not here, Darius. And honestly, she was right because it's like I posted it, they posted. You know, y'all always on social media. Go to the website and see when these meetings are being held.
I feel like that's the. Speaking of, I feel like the protesting. What happened? I feel like the snap, but I feel like the protesting in this generation now is social media. And I feel like that's when most people protest nowadays. That's where they feel like most of the things have to get done. That's where their social outcry goes. That's where they get their frustrations out. That's where they admit that they want change to be done. But when it comes to something like, okay, fine, you know what? We saw all the social media posts. We saw everybody, all the comments and everything like that. We saw the online petition, the GoFundMe, all of this. We're going to have a meeting June 3rd, this day, come to the meeting, we'll talk about it. We'll get everybody's frustrations out. And nobody shows up to the meeting.
To no meeting. They got other things to do.
and it's crazy. It's like, why is that? Why is it that people do all this fussing, this ranting, this raving and complaining, and then when it comes time for something to actually be done, they're nowhere to be found.
Nobody want to do the work, but they want to complain. And bro, to get back on the sports, it's like that with parenting and supporting your kid. If you got a kid or a nephew or whoever that's a pretty decent player, and you don't make yourself relevant to the coaching staff or to the school or to the pep squad or anything, don't come to the coach or to the some of them have the nerve to go above. They don't go through the chain of command, you know, because most people don't know the chain of command. They're how can I say, ignorant to that, you know, way of doing things. But they'll go to the principal, and next thing you know, you got a meeting. It's like a meeting, and it's like, yeah, there's you know, what's this and that, and it's just like, what you mean? Well, this parent wants to know why their kid isn't getting this much playing time, or when they finally came to a game, their kid sat on the bench. And I'm like, in all due respect, whose kid is this? Like, whose parent is this? I've never seen this person a day in my life. I've never seen this person at a game or practice. I've never got a phone call or text from this person, but you're telling me that this person is mad because their kid is not getting playing time. Who are you? You know what I mean? Then it's just like, oh, well, I'm so-and-so, you know, mother or father, and it's just like, you know, nice to finally meet you. You know, if you probably if you come to practice or come to these games and you know help show these kids, show your child that you support them, they'll push themselves to prove to me and to themselves that that they can get in the game and actually help.
Or to push your kid to do the things that they need to do to get on the court. So, for example, hey, you know what? Hey, you know what? The reason why your kid's not playing, he's not good at, you know, dribbling with his left hand. We need him to do that. Okay, cool. So we working with him on practice. You see, we working with him on that practice. Okay, now you go home. Your kid's playing a video game. Your son, get off the video game. Work on dribbling with your left hand so you can play this Wednesday. You know what I'm saying?
You don't practice. You don't do nothing at home. You on your phone. You sleep. You worrying about this person and that person. You on live talking about who you gonna slap and who you over the age of 30. You over the age of 26, 27. I'm 28 years old. I ain't slapping nobody. I ain't got to threaten nobody. I'm not on that. If you over these ages and you're on live talking about other stuff, but your kid can't dribble or can't shoot, or your kid is in the 11th grade and can't lay up the ball. It's like those little things right there. It's just like we got to be better than that as a people. We got to be better than that. We got to be better than that, bro. It's you can't depend on these coaches to do this stuff, because at the end of the day, it's not fair to the kids and the parents who actually take the time out of their day and their busy schedule to do this. I have single mother, single mothers to kids that they work 2 jobs. Shout out to Miss Trish. Oh my God, Herb. I got Miss Giovanna. I got, one of my players, Ivan's mom and dad come, and these people work two or 3 jobs, married, have families. These parents are at fundraisers, they're at the tournaments, they travel. I got Jordan Rivers, his mother comes all the way to Augusta and helps out. Your excuse can't be I'm a single mother all the time. It can't be that. You decide to have this child. So guess what? That what comes with it. It ain't just about feeding this kid and making sure you got a roof over his head. It's about love, support, pushing.
And
all of this playing up being a parent. It ain't just one sided.
And my thing about being, a single mother, and I think the argument comes more for the single mothers than it does the single fathers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the single parent argument.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Excuses.
And because there are single fathers out here, the amount of single fathers to the amount of single women is significantly different.
Right.
But the single parent complaint mostly comes from the mothers.
Oh yeah.
And half of the time that complaint is made, but in the times that they're claiming that things are so complicated,
right,
they're off time. They're not really doing much. You know what I'm saying? They work one job. It's not like they're working 2 or 3.
Yeah.
They work one job and they come home. They deal with the kids. But if you put them all in organized sports, or if they only got one kid, it's different. If you're a single mother and you have 2 kids of different ages, one's playing basketball, so he's at practice, but when you still gotta take care of this other child at the house because they can't be left alone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. But if it's just one child, he's in basketball practice right now, so you don't have, nothing else going on. Why is it that you can't at least show up to 1, 2, 3? You know what I'm saying? A couple of games. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand it, man. But, I'm not a parent, so I don't want to speak on it.
Right, but still,
because then you get those arguments.
No, you see it, and I love those type of arguments. I love that because at the end of the day, it's parents that got more than one kid, bro. It's parents that got 3 and 4 kids, and they're there for each and every one of them. It's called prioritizing. Right. It's called priority. It's called you decided to be a parent. You decided to take that step and become a part of I like to call it a fraternity. Like one of the greatest and the most important fraternities you could ever be a part of is parenthood. Because
speaking of, I still got that candy cane in there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I still got the candy cane in the closet, but it's cool. That's all right.
Kappas don't have candy canes. Man. What are you talking about?
Man, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'll be quiet, man. I'll be quiet.
Man, look, man, that's a whole other topic, man. Shout out to all the noobs out there, man. Shout out to all the noobs. We already know what time it is. But man, yeah, man, it's crazy. It's really like I sit at home and I think about it, and I'm constantly like, me and you even talked that Chick-fil-A that time. We was chopping it up, and it's just like it's sad, man. It's like, and it's not to be negative because it's beauty in this coaching stuff and sports, and it's beauty in it, and there's a lot of positivity, and you meet a lot of great kids, and the investment that you're taking out of your time, from your family to help out, is worth it. Because a lot of these kids, man, like the smile on their faces sometimes when I take them out of town, and I know they don't got the finances, and I still do what I have to do to provide for them while they're there. The smiles on their faces and the fun that they have, man, is priceless. Man, sometimes I just sit on the bus. Most of the time I'm driving it because I didn't pay for the rental, you know what I mean? But I'm driving and I'm just looking in the rearview mirror and they laughing and they slap boxing, and I'm just like, I feel proud because like I didn't have that when I was younger.
Right.
I didn't start playing basketball, bro, until when I moved here. Like I was playing here at middle school, but like I said, being in the hood, you don't take it. It was just like, man, listen, I made the team. My favorite sport was football. Right. The only reason I played basketball because I needed attention from my father. Right. And if you go back to Florence, you like see different plaques and stuff. My mom and dad played basketball for Wilson, so it was just like, you know what, I'm a transition from football to basketball to get my my father's attention, which of course it didn't work. Right. So what I'm saying, with me, I started playing basketball my 10th grade year when I tried out for Battery Creek. That was the first time I got actually play organized basketball. Right. You know what I mean? So with that, it was just like how we said earlier, like the support and the love and everything that was shown throughout the city. It was crazy for me because in Florence, that's what they do. But here, You know what I mean? It was great. And the parents back then didn't make excuses, man.
Right.
They were working. Those were some hard workers. Shout out to DJ's mom, Miss Wendy. You had Miss Felicia Smalls, Devin's mom. You had Charles Brown, Coach Charles Brown's his mother, his dad were there. You had Justin Rogers, his mother was in the concession stand. You know, shout out to Cassandra. You had so many different parents there that worked. Now, mind you,
Right.
a lot of these parents and wives were their husband were in the military, they were nurses, or they were like managers, and they were there. And then you look at it now, and it's just like, what happened?
Right.
Like, these kids they're so quick to want to quit and do other things that it's just like, it's sad. And with me, of course, Jay, we can't save all these kids like how we
Right.
want to. You can't save everybody.
Right.
You only can save, honestly, who wants to be saved. But some of these kids, you can pick these kids up and take them to practice. I was just talking about this other day with somebody. But you can pick a kid up and take him to practice every day and show him how to succeed and put it in his head that he can do it regardless of his environment. But when he get home and he walk in the house and that parent high off weed, or that parent, their mama always got a wine glass on the table when they walk in the house,
Mm-hmm.
then you fighting a lose-lose situation, because it's like everything I'm teaching you, once you walk through that door to your house, to people that are actually responsible for you and that are supposed to be,
It's a whole different game.
yeah, they teach you something else. They pushing you back out in the streets, or they're showing you, oh, they ain't asked about how was school, how was your grade. All my players know, Jay. Before we go to any tournament, I need that report card. I need that progress report. Some of my players will tell you if they had a C in a class,
Right.
by that next practice, I needed a letter from the teacher stating what did you do to improve to get that C to a B,
Right.
or damn near to an A.
Right.
Period. And that was just me. It was just like, listen, I'm not trying to be your father, but I want you to understand, son, that if you don't have a father or somebody that showed you that they love you through tough love, that's gonna be me.
Right.
And I'm 28 years old, bro. I'm 28. What, you 25?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, we could be doing so much other stuff right now. We could be traveling. We could move out of town like the rest of our classmates who are doing so much stuff
Right.
in other cities.
Right.
You know, like you said, social media, you can be whatever you want.
Be whatever you want to do.
So you got us, man. It's just
working
like
at Dollar General, just another city.
I go to Charlotte, man. I go to Charlotte. I go to Columbia. I go to Atlanta. Like, I'm going this weekend, and you see all these people that are on Facebook, and I move away from Buford, so I'm doing big things. And then when you walk up, and they walking, they working, a regular job like you, it's just like, but what's all this Facebook stuff you seeing? But you can't come back and help these kids with us. You can't come back and like just volunteer.
And this is why I posted what I posted the other day when we had the conversation about well, not when we had the conversation, but when everybody was talking about the young man that got shot at the gas station after the Buford High graduation.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. And so this is why I posted, because everybody's been, see, this is why I need to move. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be here. See, Buford ain't this, ain't nothing here in Buford. People shot. First of all these places y'all thinking about moving to, Buford is 100 times safer.
Right. You get shot anyway.
That's what I'm saying. You can get shot anywhere.
Right.
But the places y'all want to move to, the Atlanta, the New York, the Phillies, the LAs, the Miami.
They don't want to do
You
that.
know how much worse they are?
Exactly.
Even if you just go right next door to Charleston.
There you go.
You know how much more worse they are than, you know what I'm saying, than Buford County? But you know what? Y'all want to move it because it's so much better.
Right.
No, y'all see all the fancy stuff, but yo, they got hoods too.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like, the story, Washington, the White House is right by the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, most of these places are. All these colleges are by the hood.
Right. And so people claim they want to go to all these places and they want to leave. I'm like, yo, bro, why don't y'all focus on building y'all community? Y'all from here.
Go.
Y'all claim y'all from here. Y'all love it here. This, that, and the third. Y'all like being Geechee. You know what I'm saying? But why is it when something happens, y'all always want to move? Right. Why not try to speak up, advocate, do something to change it, start an organization, a program?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they hate on the next person, like people that have gone and been successful in the community. Like I just hate it, like, because you got a lot of great people. Like you got Candace Glover, who did great and still is doing great. I love following her and seeing what she's doing as far as traveling the world and still singing beautiful voice. You got Dee Delaney, you got Devin Taylor, you got Greg Jones. You got people that, are great and set great examples. But then, of course, you got negative people that, they ain't doing nothing. You hear different stories, they back here, they this and that. And it's like, because
we got 5 in the league right now. People don't know that. We got 5.
And the thing is with that, it's like, it's these people so real and so true to their stumping grounds that it's beautiful that you see Candace Glover in Beaufort sometimes. It's beautiful that you see Delaney in the community throwing camps and the little grown prom that he did. That's giving back to your community. That's what you're supposed to do. When you see Justin Taylor coaching and doing stuff like that, that's real. That's not, you shouldn't go and say, oh they back at home all the time, they must be ain't doing this or they ain't got that. That don't mean that. That mean that person is a real person, and they giving back to their community, and that you salute people like that. You, when they come back here, you supposed to make them feel welcome. You supposed to make them feel like, listen, y'all did it. Y'all put us on the map. So when y'all come home, what you need, Candace? What you need, Jimmy LeGree? What you need, whoever it is, no matter the people that that actually doing stuff. Don't sit here and say, oh, they back, so they must be fell off. Nah, they remember where they came from. It ain't no place like home.
Ain't none. And a lot of people that I talk to, they feel some type of way because I didn't move out of Beaufort. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying, my situation is set to where I'm well put together to go wherever I want to. But a lot of people feel like, you know what? Why haven't you moved? You know what I'm saying? Why do you still live in Beaufort? You know what I'm saying? Why? Oh, I said, well, actually, I like it. Oh, you like it in Beaufort? Oh, there ain't nothing there for you. This, that, and the third. Oh, you just want to, like, they don't feel like I want to be anything because I want to stay here. Right. And it's like,
but they don't know our story. They don't know. A lot of people don't know you ain't from here.
Right.
A lot of people don't know I'm from exactly. So for us, it's like, bro, y'all don't know where we come from.
Right.
You see where we came from. This right here. If we were still in those places that we were at, because me and you ain't from like far places. Like,
right, bro.
They from Florence.
Right, I'm in Mullins. Yeah, I'm from Mullins. I'm like, bro, ain't nothing there but a tobacco factory. They make MREs. If you work there, they feel like you made it. After that, ain't nothing there but like a Hardee's and the Baskin Robbins. You still got a Baskin Robbins.
Working and making babies and doing the 9 to 5 stuff that you ain't doing nothing.
Right.
And people don't get that. They don't know that part.
Man, listen, I don't know, man. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up, man. Let you get out of here, man. We're gonna keep it going here all day. Man, it's you know what I'm saying, it's your boy Vaughn, it's Beaufort's Own. I'm here with Darius, man. You got anything else you wanna say before we get out of here, man?
I just wanna say, man, keep doing what you're doing, man. This right here, this is beautiful, man. This something right here that I see this growing, man. And I just wanna say, I appreciate you letting me come, man. Shout out to all the coaches out there. Shout out to Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Shout out to all my players from Beaufort Hurricane. For all the parents out there that don't know about AAU basketball and you would like for your kid to be a part of something just so that they can get out the house, or if you want them off the streets, hit me up. My telephone number is 843-592-2051. I'm only going to give it one time.
You're struggling to say that, I ain't gonna lie. You're struggling.
I don't want to give it, but it is what it is at this point. So, or you can just DM me and, let me know that you're interested, and I have no problem, helping out. Shout out to my boy Charles Brown, my Neo, part of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity. He's that's one of the greatest guys that, you can have in your circle, in your corner as a new coach. And with that being said, man, it's a blessing, man. Beautiful, we're going to grow. It's going to take time, but with a lot of hard work and togetherness and young brothers like me and yourself, man, it's gonna come, man.
I'm proud of y'all. And even though I said we was gonna end it, I'm proud of y'all, the fellas that I see, doing what the young men that I see doing what they're doing with basketball in the community, and I feel like there's young men helping out in other ways and in other sports and doing activities, but as far as basketball is concerned, the young men that I see helping out, you, CJ, Mike, you know what I'm saying? The way I see y'all trying to get things going with basketball is something that I like watching. Right. I like seeing that. I love seeing the motivation, but especially CJ, because CJ's been all over. Right. Every time I see you, you're with a group of young men trying to help them. I've seen you with older teenagers. I've seen you with young teenagers, 10, and then little kids 10 to 12. Right. I've seen you with little kids, 5 to 7 year olds. That time I saw you at the gym. You know what I'm saying? You're working with a lot of young men trying to do extraordinary things for them. So I commend y'all on that point, letting us know that the young generation is still trying to help. So that's good.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
You got to.
All right. Once again, I'm Javon. This is Darius. This is Beaufort's Own.